She said, what?
How could they do something like that?
Are you serious?
What a thirsty MFer.
Not good. She's absolutely dead to me.
That's because she died.
I'm Sterling Mulberry.
And I'm Blair Payton. And welcome to
Bad Behavior, a morally questionable podcast.
We're two unqualified friends,
Two unhinged comedians,
determined once and for all what is good
and what is bad.
Hello and welcome to Bad Behavior. I'm Blair Payton.
And I'm Sterling Mulberry.
Sterling, I don't know if it's as hot as it is there, but right now my legs are so moist. It is. I'm in my apartment.
Yeah.
No air, and I'm dying.
No, me. I mean, same. I had to turn the AC off. Kind of melting into a little puddle.
What is the humidity like in LA right now?
I guess I don't know. I would say it's 0, but it's like so hot because I live in the desert. So to remember, it's giving only sun. But something's been happening in my apartment complex. Because it's been so hot, people are really rallying up.
What, to protest?
To protest.
Protest the sun? Yeah, finally.
It's so funny. We had a little incident when I was back on the East Coast in my apartment complex. Person came in and stole someone's car. We have like a little garage kind of thing with like a gate. They stole the car keys from this person's apartment, got in the car, and then because they couldn't figure out how to open the gate, they rammed the car through the gate, broke down the gate, and stole the car. And it wasn't my car. Thank God. Okay. So basically what's happened in the last 24 hours, we've now started like an email chain with my neighbors about like kind of what's going on and like how the landlord like needs to do stuff. And people are acting, I hate to be like this because we're obviously very pro-tenant on this podcast and pro-renters' rights.
Yeah, say it. Say it loud and proud.
It's so funny because people are complaining about stuff about our landlord that I'm like, you've obviously never lived in New York City. They're like, oh my God, like they haven't fixed a latch on my window. I'm like, I once had a ceiling flooding with shit and bed bugs. And then my landlord was like, what's the problem?
Are you constantly responding to emails like, bitch, move to New York?
No,
you're
it's like,
fine.
Obviously, it's like great because it's like, yeah, we should have like the different things that we need.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because they're like, oh my God, like they haven't consulted us about putting up on the gate. Do you think a landlord has ever consulted anyone in New York City? Which again, I'm like, they should. But I'm like, remember when my landlord actually, I had no door to my bedroom and my landlord actually raised my rent by $2,000. Like, I was like, that's kind of what I'm usually working with.
Well, can I just say, the first part of that story reminded me of something that I did that is probably deemed bad behavior.
Okay, go
But this was over like 1 billion years ago, so I can talk about it.
Okay.
So the apartment complex that I lived in, the back parking lot was so tiny and it was really hard to maneuver around. So anyways, I'm backing out of my parking slot one night and I don't see this motorcycle and I tap it and it plops over. So I'm like, ooh, shizzle. So I get out, I'm looking, I'm like, okay, I don't see anything broken. Everything looks fine. I go inside. I tell my roommate who's with her boyfriend, and I was like, hey, I just knocked over a motorcycle. Can you come help me lift it up? So they helped me lift it up because I was a frail young lady. And so we're walking around, we're double checking, making sure nothing looks out of place, nothing looks wrong. And we didn't see anything. And my roommate was like, yeah, I think you're fine. Don't worry about it. And then cut to 2 weeks later, this is after I had moved out. She sends me a message and says, whoever's motorcycle that was, they had posted a notice saying there's a dent on it and they want whoever did it to come forward. And I just never did.
You were like, I'm sorry, no. Also, like, I'm sure it was fine. You were just backing it. I don't know. I always say this. I hate to be like this secretly. I'm tapping cars sometimes when I'm.
I mean, I tapped it enough to where it fell over.
Yeah, but you know, motorcycles are bikes. Those are always tipping over. And also, come on, motorcycles are so stupid. Learn a lesson.
Yeah, it's just showing how big your penis isn't. But can I just say, just to correct my karma to this man, if you're listening.
Yeah, I'm sure he's our number one fan.
Well, I just want to put it out in the universe that, like, I'm so sorry. I'm sending you light and love.
And I have a gift for this man in case he's listening. We'll comp you if you come to our Los Angeles comedy show, Bad Behavior, on August 16th at 7:30 p.m. at Dynasty Typewriter.
Sterling, great idea.
I think that is adequate payment for your motorcycle. So, and also to our other listeners, if we've actually ever hit anything of yours, definitely feel free to let us know, and we're happy to comp you as well. If you come to our comedy show, as long as you
set
laugh.
a limit on those comps.
Yeah, we actually only have about 10. So we can't do everyone, but
the first 10 people that we've hurt in life, contact us now.
Yeah, if we've actually ever bullied you, especially me, knowing me, if I've ever bullied you,
It was probably Sterling.
it was probably me, or done something that hurt your feelings, definitely feel free to DM us. I'm happy to get you a comp. And I'm so sorry.
And if you're wondering if this is something you should go to, well, we were featured in Vulture magazine.
Vulture magazine, which is more like .com because it is online.
Well, I'm old, so I don't know how computers work.
But yeah, New York Magazine's Vulture. We want to give a shout out. Definitely, what a surprise. I was shocked this week and I was so excited. It was the nicest review of our podcast ever. So if you didn't see it, go go read it if you'd like. They do have a paywall, so hope you can get past it.
I did screenshot it and put it on my Instagram.
Yeah, there. So. Go look on his Instagram. But anyways, we just want to say thank you so much, Vulture, for featuring us. That was so sweet. But what is even more exciting than that is our guest today.
Yes.
We are such big fans. They are absolutely hilarious. You know them from their amazing podcast and live show, Exploration Live. Please welcome Charlie Bardey and Natalie Rotter-Laitman.
So guys, thank you so much for doing our podcast today. We're so happy to have someone in person for once.
For once.
To see some people in the real world. Am I supposed to be talking?
Move your mic so it's actually in front.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whoa, I'm hearing it now.
Yeah.
What about mine?
Yep.
Natalie has a different kind of mic than everybody else.
She does. Yeah. Well, so our studio's a little busted because we had another arm, but we had to take it out because it was going bad.
Amputation.
So we had to, it was brutal.
Do you think I should be messing with this?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it.
No, I would say like maybe a no on that.
But it's ultimately up to me.
It'd be funny if we were all talking and Natalie's like,
We're going to put like a nice cavernous effect.
Yeah,
so it sounds like you're in a long hall.
Like Natalie is joining us from down the hall.
That's funny.
So you guys,
Yeah.
we want to step back just a moment and really talk about conflict, you know? You guys are work partners.
That's true.
Right.
And friends?
Yeah.
No.
Well, there we go.
Oh,
Wow.
So, yeah, we're working that out.
Okay. So yeah, we wanted to kind of ask about what's your journey been like? Kind of as work partners, friends, all the above. Do you have certain roles you guys usually fall in? Is there ever conflict, or you're like, we've never had a fight, not once?
I can kind of answer in a way that without revealing too much.
I actually think that this
Okay.
is something that...
This is actually like one of the conflicts we have is
No.
like...
No.
Oh,
I
sorry.
was going to say... Well, I know what you're saying, but I was going to say this, I feel really good about this part.
Oh.
And
okay.
I feel like we know how to talk about it,
Yes,
too.
totally. I agree.
Like, I feel like we actually have a nice system
Right,
for
right.
handling
But
conflict. Yeah.
Because basically it's like I'm a little more crazy.
Okay.
Is that fair?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Or just like
Or you just go ahead.
Okay, and you can edit whatever.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm a little bit more like kind of type A, organized. Like, let's make sure we're on everything. Let's make sure we're like da 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 da, and like
I'm like kind of like generally competent.
right.
Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe. There's definitely been times where we've had to like have conversations about like, when you do this, like I really want you to do this, or whatever,
yeah.
and like. I actually think I it's really cool.
Yeah,
like I
think
feel
we handled it really well. To be
yeah,
honest.
like I think
Yeah.
well Charlie is very like calm, I feel like, and can be really like clear-headed about like saying when you're upset about something without it being like massive or like punishing. You know what I mean? You can be like, I really didn't like this thing.
But in a way that feels like low stakes.
Yeah, it's like I just want to say that. And then I feel like I can do the same.
Yeah,
and
Natalie's
it's something
really good at
that's really
that.
cool is I feel like we do have a vibe of like when someone says something like that, it's like, okay, thanks for saying it.
Right.
Like there's a culture of like, thanks for bringing it up.
Right. And
Right?
then
Don't you
it
think?
doesn't feel so like
Yeah.
like tense and
Totally.
fretful.
So how long have you guys known each other?
We met in like 2018.
Yeah, 2018,
I want to
I
say
think,
at like
yeah.
an open mic.
Yeah.
And then
What was the moment where you were like, I need this person in my life?
I have an answer to that. Which is that later at that open mic, we went to us and another friend. We went to like a supermarket.
What
and
supermarket?
This was the open mic was at the Rosemont.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
the supermarket was the one on the corner of like Broadway or
near the
something.
G.
Near the G.
Okay.
Near the Broadway G, I guess. And
Every time we pass that, we're like,
we're like, that's our spot. And like, but they were just, it was like late. Nobody else was in the supermarket. And like the three of us were just like riffing so hard. And I
Yeah.
was laughing and I was like,
We
I
were
literally remember
cutting it
being
up.
like, I got to get these people in my life. I got to get these people in my life. And then literally like, you are.
yeah,
It actually totally worked out.
And I remember we went.
And then what ended up happening with that?
Did we ever follow up on that?
Yeah, we should
or-
hang out
Yeah.
sometime.
Can I hold my microphone so I can lean back?
I think you're going to do it anyway, so just go ahead.
I guess, is there anything with the
Will you
wire?
switch with me?
No.
I can switch with
I don't want to. I
Do
don't
you
want
like
to.
your seat so
I like
much?
my seat.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm feeling really comfortable.
No.
Can I say something about also that Natalie really taught me about
fuck.
friendship and communication?
You can say no.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, like Natalie, actually this is like your whole friend group, like from college. You're all really good about like these things that will happen that I would clock that like in other friend groups would be like become like big things and insecurities. But like Natalie will be talking to someone and like they'll be like on their phone. Natalie will be like, "You're not listening. You're not listening to me right now." or like someone will say something and it's like, no, like try again. Like that was mean.
Right. Yeah, totally.
Like being really direct about like these little moments of kind of disconnection, and it's so funny and refreshing.
Right.
Like you'll tell a story and like you're like, sorry, is this like boring to you guys? Like
Everyone's like, yeah.
I love try again. That was mean.
Right.
That's amazing.
That really is the spirit.
That is amazing.
Yeah. Like no,
That's
that one
true.
wasn't right. So
Because then I
feel
feel like especially with like stuff where it's like, can you do this for me?
Mhm.
Like, can we do X? And then someone's like, no. Then if you know that they're comfortable saying no, no one's being polite. And then if you really want it, you're like, please.
Right.
Like if I really wanted to switch, I'd be like, please, right.
And
please,
I'd be
please.
like,
and
oh,
if you
fine.
really didn't want to,
Right.
you'd be like, no.
Right.
But if you kind of didn't care,
Right.
actually, you'd be like, all right.
Yeah, we can.
But do you really want to hold the mic?
No.
Okay.
Don't forget that your skin is your largest organ, and the sun can be your skin's worst enemy. Dermatologist recommended Neutrogena products offer the ultimate protection for your skin. From makeup remover wipes to Hydro Boost Water Gel Facial Moisturizer, BJ's has your entire lineup of Neutrogena skincare products. And now through December 3rd, save $4 on any Neutrogena product at BJ's. Love your skin back and save now through December 3rd, only at BJ's.
Nice buns, soft, fluffy, and ultra-low net carbs. Discover Hero Bread, the delicious ultra-low net carb bread with incredible taste and texture. Hero Bread has 0 grams of sugar and is under 100 calories per serving. Plus, high in fiber with 5 to 10 grams of protein per serving. Available on Amazon.com, Walmart.com, and at hero.co. That's HERO.co. Delicious, ultra-low net carb Hero Bread buns and tortillas. Soft and fluffy, high in fiber, and with 0 grams of sugar, up to 10 grams of protein, coming in at under 100 calories. Order today at hero.co and use the code AH10 to get 10% off your first purchase. That's AH10 at hero.co. HERO.co. Order from hero.co now and get 10% off your first purchase with promo code AH10. That's 10% off with code AH10. HERO.co.
Okay, so we have. We say we have a game. We actually only play one. We have just the same game we normally play on this podcast, and it's called Heaven or Hell.
I love it.
Now you have a podcast, Exploration Live.
Right.
So true.
And
Say that.
You guys are aware.
Yeah.
So these are going to be different types of explorations, and if these are heaven, hell, or purgatory for you.
Okay,
Thank
cute.
you for
Okay.
doing it to us.
Of
It's really sweet.
course.
And by the way, I found my perfect position.
Oh, amazing.
Can
I just
say-
needed to sit on my foot.
Famous last words.
Charlie.
I'm always doing this in bed, like where I'm like uncomfortable tossing and turning, and then I like find a spot. I'm like, well, this is gonna be it.
Right.
And then it's like, no, girl. And
Well, this might not
rotating.
work forever, Charlie,
Right,
but
but
it's
for
really
right now.
working right now.
So your first one.
You little stinker.
Snorkeling with your family over a shipwreck in the Caribbean.
Heaven.
Yeah, I'm gonna say heaven.
Totally heaven.
Sounds nice.
I
Oh,
love
amazing.
the ocean. I love fish.
Yeah.
But I would worry about getting like bit by something.
Yeah.
Like my worries
Like
are
a
much
ghost?
more.
Right.
Or
No.
shark.
To
Okay.
me, I'm like ghosts. Like there would
Don't have
only be
teeth.
like a positive
Yeah. To me,
interaction
Right.
from that kind of extraterrestrial.
and to me, like like I might feel some fear. Like it's spooky to be in the ocean for sure. There's sea urchins. That's like what I would be afraid of. But the fear would not like compromise the experience, and fear can be a really important component of something being enjoyable.
Yeah. I was in the water recently and a barracuda swam by. And
Wait, where was this?
in Miami.
Oh.
And it honestly, I'm really a little more scared in
Yeah,
water
yeah,
since
yeah.
then.
Barracudas won't do anything to you,
Yeah.
but they're scary.
But
Really?
it just
They won't?
scared me.
But don't they have teeth?
Someone told me that if you have anything like shiny on you,
Oh yeah.
they get confused and they might try and bite you.
Really?
So no
Maybe I guess I
anklets.
don't know. As a kid, my parents were always saying barracudas are going to do nothing because I was always swimming with barracudas.
Really?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Well, not always. I know every summer my family and we would go on a sailboat. And then one day I was so scared of a barracuda and I was sort of shaking.
You saw it?
Oh, yeah. And then I was shaking so bad my flipper fell off and the barracuda went and
Attacked it?
And put it
Attacked
on.
Yeah.
well, it kind of dove down and got it.
Whoa.
Yeah, but they really hang out under boats a lot. So like I'd always have my dad jump in because there's usually a big barracuda.
You have your dad jump in to check it out.
I was like literally 7.
Oh my God.
Right.
okay,
I'm,
okay.
I'm the youngest. So
Yeah.
I was
That's crazy.
baby. But okay, sightseeing the city of Boston. Solo by duck boat. Do you know what a duck boat is?
Yeah. We did a duck boat for my cousin's bar mitzvah.
And it's
Charlie.
amphibious.
You would love a duck boat.
I know, I should do it. The solo part is kind of tough for me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to say, like, maybe it would be heaven.
Yeah, it's like heaven is such a strong word.
Right. Like,
Like,
I don't
You
know.
also
if
have
it's-
purgatory if you're kind of ambivalent.
maybe it's purgatory.
I think it's like, but I feel like purgatory is supposed to be like torturous too,
Yeah, it is.
and it's like
I guess it's kind of our
boringness.
middle of our scale.
But
I always saw it as like a waiting game.
yeah, it might
So I
be
guess it
more
is torturous.
purgatory.
I think it is purgatory because I'm like, all right, like,
Yeah.
I
Like,
guess
if-
I can do this.
If I got to heaven
Yeah.
and heaven was like a duck boat in Boston, I'd be like,
That would be so funny. You're like, really? And they're like, yeah, this was the best thing we came up
Yeah,
with. And
they're
you're like, I don't think so, actually.
right? I'm like, this is my heaven.
Right.
They're like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's your personal
Solo,
heaven.
Boston.
Yeah.
Maybe it's October.
Yeah, I would say
54 degrees.
purgatory.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a nice purgatory though, but not heaven.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not hell though.
All right,
No,
number
not
3.
Mm-hmm.
Flying over the Adirondacks in a hot air balloon with your lover.
I mean, I'm pretty afraid of heights.
Yeah, me
Same.
too.
So, and I don't trust a hot air balloon.
No, I don't trust a hot air
I
balloon
think
at all.
that might be hell for me. Like I
Yeah.
love my lover,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think that would be like a good place for us to like shine.
Right.
Because I think I'd be
And
scared.
I'm going through a breakup recently, so I'm going to be saying hell for that.
Yeah.
Just
yeah,
as the
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
idea.
crazy.
But I agree, like,
That's like hell.
Okay, maybe if you take a grandparent, would that be better?
no, like a parent I could be more okay with. A grandparent, I'm like, I'm in charge.
Yeah.
Like, with the two of us are in this hot air balloon managing
yeah,
this.
Yeah.
Hot air balloons are really scary to me.
Yeah.
Well, what?
I've never been in one, actually.
Me neither.
There's definitely an expert on board. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like it's like so like marketed as like the most romantic experience, and you're
Yeah.
like, okay, me one person, and then kind of other person, kind of only like 1
Right.
foot away.
Right.
You know, like you're like trying to
I think
exchange
there's
words
a lot
of romance, and
romantic stuff like that.
it's like, yeah, not
like
quite.
top of a mountain, but there is like a guide, like right
Yeah.
there.
Exactly.
It's like,
Hey.
or like even your wedding day, like there's a photographer.
Right.
Okay, next one. Backpacking up a volcano in Ecuador on an adult group travel tour.
Hell.
Okay, and by adult
Really?
group travel tour, you know what I'm talking about, like those like ones
Yeah.
that you
I
like pay,
know.
but they organized, but you don't know anyone else on
Yeah.
the tour. Okay.
I'm saying heaven.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds really fun. I love meeting new people.
Yeah.
I love meeting new people, and I bet we've talked about this on the podcast recently, but the dynamic of like when you're in a group of people and like you have the process of like kind of figuring out by true just intuition like who you kind of vibe with.
Yeah.
And I think it's really fun because that used to happen a lot, and I kind of like that process, and I kind of like that you always find like the girl you're going to connect with.
Well, I would say if it's promised that there's people there I really like,
Okay.
it's heaven. Because I also like
yeah.
that process. But I've had it where
There's
you
no
don't
one.
find anyone and it's like the loneliest
Yeah.
fucking feeling in
have
the
you
world.
been on one of these trips?
Like a group, like in college.
My
Yeah.
best friend from college, I made it in the pre-orientation, and it was actually really clear. Like we were in different, like we would not have been like besties, or like it's not clear that we would have found each other in the same way if not for that trip. I've actually just had good luck at stuff like that.
That's what
like,
it is.
But you wouldn't be nervous going up a volcano because, like,
I would
it
be.
Could.
What's it called? Fire
Have a
of
bad
Love.
day, yeah.
That like documentary.
Right. I don't find the nature around a volcano to be so enticing to me.
Okay.
Like, you know, people will like go to Iceland and be like, my family just like, I have cousins who went to Iceland and like, we're like, this is like lava.
Right.
This was just lava. And now it's like,
Rocks.
now it's like black. And I'm like, you know,
I mean, you can Google that stuff.
yeah. And
you
it
know?
just doesn't hit my pleasure receptors that hard.
Yeah,
Okay. All right, our next one. Traveling by Amtrak across America from New York to LA with a pet.
Hell.
Hell.
Traveling with a pet? Hell. No way.
Yeah, have you traveled on Amtrak before?
I went from New York to DC once.
That's
when I
not
was a
so
kid.
bad.
Yeah, and it was really fun because I was like, there was a snack cart, and I was just like, that's gonna do it for me. Like,
Right.
just,
But
like,
New York
chips.
to DC is like 6 hours, and across the country is like days and days.
Yeah.
I've done it from Penn Station to my hometown in Roanoke, Virginia.
Wow.
Whoa.
How
It
long is that?
So they typically leave at 12:30 p.m. and I get there at 10 p.m. if they're on time.
Whoa.
Wait.
For like 10, 11 hours.
Yeah, I didn't know the math, so I just said the time.
Wait, that's like not that long.
It feels
I'm
very
sorry
long.
to say that.
No,
but
9.5. I mean, that's like a long time.
Yeah, you're
to
just
be in one
sitting
place. Because also you do run out. I don't know. This is my experience with travel, where you like can really brace yourself for it. You're like, I'm gonna bring little activities. I'll bring a book, whatever. And at some point, like halfway through, you're just like, I would love it to be over.
Yeah.
Like I've run out of my interest in like, let me have this like unstructured, relaxed. It's like I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm just
it's not
done.
great.
Yeah.
It's
And the
not.
Wi-Fi is spotty.
Yeah.
The snacks are hit. They got rid of the DiGiorno cheese pizza from the cafe cart.
Really?
Yeah,
That sucks.
that was my go-to.
Right.
Wait, so-
America is in such decline.
But
Yeah.
to me, like the fact that you can be here in the afternoon and then that night be in Virginia.
You would think.
And you could
Virginia's
still
not
get
that
breakfast here with
far.
your friend. It's not that far. I like don't know where it is. I'll be real. I'll be really real with
I'm
you.
from kind of around there. Well, you're a little more southern than me.
I'm very
Maryland.
south.
Uh-huh.
And it's not that. It would be
To
faster by
DC
car.
is not bad, but there's so many stops in Virginia that it just
Yeah, it'd be faster by
takes
car.
forever.
But I'm like, DC
It would be
should
faster
be
by car.
close. So
Right.
that's too long for a train ride. But Virginia to me is really far.
It is.
Really?
Yeah, but you know, I like don't I like if you gave me a map of America right now and asked me to like fill in the states, like I really don't. I think I could get like maybe 11 correct.
I think you could get
No,
more.
you could get more.
I don't think.
What if
should try
what
it.
if I told you had to do it tomorrow and you had to study for it? How many do you think you could get?
100%.
Right. Totally.
Okay, see, you just got to believe in yourself.
I
You're
don't-
wa- you're-
I
so
have to
listen,
want it.
Natalie, you're 1 day away from knowing it,
Oh, okay.
You know what I
Yes,
mean?
But okay.
but you don't want it that much. I think I know them all. I think you could do it.
Yeah.
Because I had a test on it once in high school. I was like,
and you just retained it. Do you
No
know
one
the
ever
capitals?
tested me on
No.
that.
Okay.
the capitals. I actually really do think I know like 3.
I do know New York's because
Yeah.
I remembered in first grade,
Yeah.
some guy was like, "Oh, Bani," like I hurt my knee,
Mm-hmm.
and now I remembered
Albany.
it. Yeah.
That's like, yeah, that can really work.
That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
That
I've
can really
retained
work.
I'm having some.
Okay, our last one. Attending Yacht Week in Croatia with a group of rich friends whom you despise, but also pay for your trip.
Oh my God. What is Yacht Week?
It's basically this week, and everyone rents out a yacht,
Mm-hmm.
and then all the yachts kind of come together in a body of water, whatever that one is,
Yeah.
and then they party.
Yeah.
I think I would like that.
But even
Yeah.
if you hate everyone there, but it's for free.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think I could get into it, and I think I could be like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And being around people, I would be like, you know what I mean? But come on, to see it, to have it paid for,
Yeah.
no problem.
I don't think I would like it because I feel like like my family is rich,
Mhm.
I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
There's things that they do that I'm like, this is like actually like not that cool.
Mm-hmm.
But none of them are like yacht related.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't need to be like further getting into like more like
Rich people
fucked up
culture.
activities.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's already like tennis and skiing and whatever. And it's like, I don't need to be like, I love like yachts now too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So this is hell for you, but heaven for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Heaven, again, feels strong, but I think I would do it if given the opportunity. I've never been to Croatia.
You're
Oh,
heaven.
it's beautiful.
Yeah, I've heard that
It's so funny, the
gorgeous.
idea of like getting to heaven. It's like,
It's
Charlie,
like-
it's yacht week in Croatia.
It's like with all these people you hate. I'm like, really? They're like, but you said.
You promised that was heaven.
You
for
promised you wanted it heaven, and here it is. Here's your
Okay.
heaven. I'm like, shoot.
Don't forget that your skin is your largest organ, and the sun can be your skin's worst enemy. Dermatologist recommended Neutrogena products offer the ultimate protection for your skin. From makeup remover wipes to Hydro Boost Water Gel Facial Moisturizer, BJ's has your entire lineup of Neutrogena skincare products. And now through December 3rd, save $4 on any Neutrogena product at BJ's. Love your skin back and save now through December 3rd, only at BJ's.
It's time to take your body care routine to the next level. Introducing Osea's bestseller body care set, the perfect companion for your summer travels. This 4-piece kit transforms dry skin to silky, soft, and glowing. It features travel sizes of Osea's best-selling Undaria algae body oil and body butter, clinically proven to improve skin elasticity, along with their anti-aging body balm and salts of the earth body scrub. And to top it off, it's packed in a vegan leather bag, making it a must-have for all your summer adventures. Everything Osea makes is clean, vegan, cruelty-free, and climate-neutral, so you never have to choose between your values and your best skin. Treat yourself to glowing, healthy skin this summer with clean, vegan skincare and body care from Osea. Right now, you can get the bestsellers body care set valued at $78 for 33% off. Use code SUMMER to save an additional 10%. That's an additional 10% off at OSEAMalibu.com, code SUMMER.
I know that you brought a story in today.
Yeah, we
That's
did.
true.
Potentially, there might be a moral conundrum in there. Is it in the right? Is it in the wrong? And Blair and I are here today to help decipher.
Can you do it?
Yep. So when Charlie and I were becoming friends, I worked at a coffee shop in Carroll Gardens. And one day, and Charlie would come and visit me a lot, which was awesome, really fun. And one day I was generally like not a great employee, like friendly and like, you know, pretty well liked, but like careless and like just like leaving stuff around and like, you know, just not really, you know, whatever. And then one day Charlie came to visit me when we were closing up, and the person I was closing up with was like, we were like, I think we're actually going to just hang out here for a little bit and like eat all their free stuff. And like, cause they also had food in the back and like drink all the coffee and lemonade and whatever. And then she was like, okay, I'll just like leave the door. You can just lock up behind you. And left. And then we were like hanging there, like drinking and eating, like having a grand old time. And then we were like, okay, like let's go. We had a show that night. We were like, let's go perform on our show. We went to leave and the door was actually locked from the outside. And I didn't have a key, which I was supposed to have. And yeah. So then we were kind of like locked in the coffee shop, which was really interesting. And we were kind of like, like he. I called like all the other baristas.
Wait a minute, you couldn't open the door to get out?
The coworker locked you in, or how did you get locked in?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But you were
we
just trapped.
You went to
Couldn't,
go
yeah.
leave.
Yeah.
and it
I
was
think
locked.
that maybe we locked it. We would lock it to close up so that people couldn't come in or something.
Right.
Okay.
So maybe like she locked it from the outside behind her or
Yeah.
something.
And
And I was supposed to have a key, so it was
Okay.
like, okay, yeah,
That's
I
kind
don't
of like
know.
the sleeper hit of like getting locked in or out. Like usually like the idea of getting locked, like a door
Right.
locked that you can't open, it's like I can't get into it.
Yeah.
But I've had a few key times in my life where it's like I can't get out.
Right.
My apartment door, sometimes it's like, oh, randomly, like we need a
Yeah.
locksmith to like free us right now.
So we're locked inside, and I'm like calling every barista that I work with, like, hey, like, any chance you could like swing back by the coffee shop and like let us out? And everyone's like, we're busy. And I was like, okay. And then we ended up having to call the owner of the coffee shop and be like, hey, can you come let us out? And she was really pissed, and she came and then was like, I was there with like this random guy basically, like, and she was kind of like, what? And like way after, like an hour after the store had closed, like, and we were supposed to leave. And she walked in and she was like, oh, wait outside, please, to Charlie. And I was like, and then she kind of like gave me this speech about how like I'm like better than that, but like she didn't know me and like I wasn't better than that. That was, like, that was like really in line with like how I was. And then we left. So the conundrum there, I would say, is like being like very uncareful about like logistics and like keeping track of your stuff or whatever is like I think it's like super, it's my main thing, and I'm like, it's no problem, but actually what it is also is like it puts people out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
And I've had this with jobs too, where like, especially when you're doing comedy, like that's kind of what you really want to be giving your like energy to, and then you have to do this other job, and it's like, okay, well, like I don't really care so much about this, and so, and usually it's like, okay, you can kind of figure out how to do it, but like, especially when I worked for 1 year in an office, and I was a grant writer for like a nonprofit, and like I would just like be like not that great at it. Like I would just like be kind of unfocused, like couldn't really get stuff done on my phone all the time. And like, you know, I was like, it doesn't matter that much. Like, this is fine because it doesn't really matter. And it's like, well, this is like a nonprofit.
Right.
Like,
It
it's like
actually
a
like
youth
matters
arts.
way more than the thing you think matters.
Right, exactly. It's like, this doesn't matter. Like, I need to like be thinking about like my comedy show tonight for like 8 people in Bushwick. And it's like, and I don't know. I always am like, it's good. Like, I don't need to be doing like an amazing, like, it's like, unless you're like a literal like doctor, there's no reason you need to yell at work. But then it would be like, right, like, my coworkers would be like, hey, so like we had to like pick up the slack on that. And,
No,
like,
that's
stay
what it
late.
is.
Like, I know it's like it doesn't have to happen, but it's like we do kind of need to get this done. And
yeah, it is like when it goes onto your coworkers.
Right.
Like that time it didn't. It went onto the owner. So it's like,
whatever.
What did she say when she was talking to you? Do you remember?
yeah, she was really pissed. And she was like, something else that happened that week too.
How late in the night was it?
Must have been like 7.
Oh, okay.
7, yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, I don't care if it put her out. Like, she was annoying as fuck. But, and she actually has a podcast. So.
Oops.
But one of my favorite things she ever done, she ran this like food magazine. And then this was her little coffee shop too.
Okay.
And so she had like kind of a following online from the food magazine. And one day she posted this like long rant online about how there was like an ice cream truck that like sat outside her office every day, which was like this little street across from a playground in Carroll Gardens.
Okay.
And like the song would play and she was like, I've called the police, I've done everything I can. And it was just so funny. Like I was like, why would you post this? Like why? Like how deranged do you have to be like, actually, it's good for my brand for me to be like the villain who hates the ice cream truck next to the playground.
Like when you hear a song and you can't think of the lyrics and it just frustrates you and ruins your whole day.
Yeah, she doesn't know the lyrics to the song.
Yeah, the song that was playing from the ice cream cart. So
that could be it.
Benefit of the doubt.
Definitely. But there was something else that happened that week where we were supposed to close at like 4 or something, and it was like 3:30, and she like walked by the coffee shop just to like check in, and all the chairs were up on the tables and all the machines were shut off. And me and the other guy I was working with were like mopping. And she was like, what's going on? And we were like, we just wanted to close up.
And what did she say when you said that?
She was like, we close at 5 or 4 or whatever.
Wait, that's really funny. You're like, we just decided we're done and didn't want you to know about that.
Yeah.
Did any customers try to come into the store while you were mopping?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Okay.
We would have given them whatever machines were. We probably would have been like, we still have cold brew or whatever, but
Exactly.
and like lemonade. But
At 4 p.m.
Yeah, it's like takes an hour to like turn off the espresso machine. The espresso machine is like really like a horse. Like you have to. There's someone who like loves it and cares for it and is like. You have to like listen and hear it and calm it down. And sometimes I go in the morning and like the other person I'd working with would be like the espresso like king or whatever, and would be like, oh, she's finicky today, like it's humid out. I'm like, what is this like multi-million-dollar piece of equipment that like literally if like the humid index is up 5 points like can't make coffee, like. And it's like you have to taste it and try it, and I'm like, it all tastes like shit. And sometimes like I would be dialing it in for the day, like finding the settings that were like correct, pull the right espresso shot because you have to change the settings based on the weather. It's like we're like on a sailboat basically, like in like ancient times.
Right.
How long after the talking to?
Oh yeah,
Did you stay with
the company?
Yeah.
I stayed just about until the coffee shop went under. A couple months later.
Oh, okay.
You were there.
She shut the doors on it.
That was such an amazing era in our lives.
I know, it
Do
really
you
was.
think that you had any factor in the closing of the shop?
I wonder about it sometimes because I was very, very, very lucky and blessed at that time. And I had many friends who would come in and visit me all the time, which was like the best feeling ever. And I would give them tons of free stuff.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? Like just, and I think, I don't know. I mean, it was honestly a lot of people that would come in.
Right.
And I would, not, do nice stuff to the food.
customers?
No, sorry. I just mean like I wouldn't like package stuff totally correctly or like like I took a shit on it.
I was like, ooh, okay.
No, but I just mean like I wasn't like totally helping it along. Sometimes there would be like a line out the door in the morning and I would be like moving so slowly and people would be like and like walking out like little Sims. Like,
what were the Yelp reviews like for your coffee shop?
I don't know. I never checked actually. It's a great. Oh, we should have checked.
Once a business goes under, is it still active on Yelp? I guess not.
I bet you we could find
that
it.
would be really cool to find. Yeah. I would like to check that out. When I was a page at NBC and we would check the reviews a lot, and it would be like, "This blonde tour guide is a fucking whore." Cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of the moral conundrum. There's no.
It's like being bad at your job is really the question. Like, because especially jobs where it's like, this doesn't really matter, but also you are kind of like.
Which, like, when it's hurting a company, it's like, whatever. But, like, when is it actually, like, fucking up your peers
like your
and
peers
your coworkers?
who have to,
and they have to, like.
Yeah. My version of this is I tutor and, like, usually think I do a good job, but just sometimes I don't. Like, sometimes I just, like, am too distracted in my life, can't connect with a student, like, just I'm not helping them really improve. And
what's the main subject?
I do half, like, test prep and then, like, math.
Okay.
And then sometimes other subjects.
Charlie's really good at math.
I'm good enough to do it at
9 times 6.
54.
Okay.
I can do that too, but that's because I have that trick.
The trick with the 9.
You know,
You have
the
fingers.
The 9 is a classic. Do you think when your boss had it talking to you,
Yeah, she talked to me.
did she? Because the way you just said it to me,
Yeah.
I almost thought she was implying that maybe you had a lover in the shop.
Oh.
Do you think that was it, or
I
she was
wonder.
just like?
Actually, when you told it too, I was like, I'd never considered that
Yeah, I was
angle
like,
before.
And how disheveled
all
did
were,
you
like,
look?
hooking up or something?
Oh, like as if we had been like rolling around in the head.
I'm sure that I looked like a gay guy.
Yeah.
I got to imagine that like
I will
was
say
giving
like
gay guy.
every other employee at the store was a lesbian. I feel like she.
So that was not part of the like
yeah.
the like.
so.
She kind of had this army of little dykes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
that
feel
was
like-
not kind of the implication she
I
was
don't
saying.
think so. I don't think
Okay.
so. I think it was like make your gay guy stand outside.
Right.
And did she hire you, or did someone else hire you?
She hired me, sight unseen.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
You know, she actually, I will say, like, there was something really rude or, like, just fucked up to me about her, like, hiring vibe, which was, like, everyone who worked there was, like, college educated. It was, like, mostly white people. And, like, she had this vibe kind of, like, I don't know, that's what she liked. And it's, like, you know, you really don't need a college degree for that job. And there's like plenty of people who would be amazing at it.
Yeah.
Who
Right.
don't have that degree. And
Right.
like, it was just this, I just felt like she had kind of like an elitist thing of like, yeah, you're, and then when she gave me that talking to, also, she was like, I know you're a really bright girl. Like, why are you doing this? And
Right.
I'm like, you know, you're a little freaky like that. Like,
It's
you know.
kind of giving Gwyneth Paltrow vibes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she is kind of like,
Because she had a
this like
lifestyle
older white
influencer.
woman in the food influency world. But yeah. And then I worked at a different coffee shop afterwards where, because she sold hers to Hungry Ghost. And then I worked at Hungry Ghost. And Hungry Ghost, people working there, like, first of all, they stay, a lot of the people who work there for a really long time. It's good retention, right? Second of all, it was like everyone was all over in terms of like age, race, and like experience before whatever jobs. And like they were like way more better committed employees like who had been like in that field, except instead of these like college kids who were kind of like fucking off. It was just kind of lame.
Yeah.
I feel of her.
Wait, did you stay once the change?
I was at Hungry Ghost for like a month, and then I just was like gonna start nannying.
Yeah.
But did you feel, being around all these people who are so passionate about their job, did you feel a sense of like...
Yes. Well, actually, yeah. Then also when I was being shitty at that job, I was like, this kind of sucks
Yeah.
because these people actually like want this place to function and not like just close down. And so they would pick up the slack.
Right,
You know what
right,
I
right,
mean?
right.
Like
You're not
when
like,
I
oh, who
wouldn't
cares,
like,
right.
you know, do,
Yeah.
you know, sweep that well or like
Yeah.
put things away in a good way or whatever.
Right,
They'd
right.
be like, we don't do that. Like,
Yeah.
and I was like, you know what? Yeah. Like,
Yeah, word.
let's get me out of here.
Yeah.
Let's get me out. I do believe, obviously, we are responsible for ourselves, but as someone who has been hired and hired some people below me, it
You
is the
have.
responsibility. Yeah, it is the responsibility of the hiring manager. And the fact that she was so like laissez-faire or like whatever with this hiring process.
Yes.
And then to be like, oh, I should like. She should be hiring better.
You know
I
what?
hate to be like this.
I
I'm like,
totally
she should have hired
agree.
you.
You're
Do you know what
right.
I'm saying?
You're
Like, it's
so right.
And if you were doing a bad job, or if anyone's doing a bad job, it is the manager's responsibility
Yeah,
to step
it comes
in.
back
You know what?
to it,
This has happened to me at work too, where like I'm like I can tell that I'm getting leeway by virtue of like my like race in class. Like literally where it's like it's just clear that I'm like
well,
this was-
especially with like tutor stuff, it's like
Yes. I mean,
you're,
that I
like-
get like a really wide berth. But even when I
Yeah.
worked at that office job, like
Oh.
one thing I did I ever like
yeah, I know.
I like like would post on Instagram all the time, all day from the job, having fun, no problem. And would post like once posted like bored at work, hope my friend comes and visits my desk soon. And I like tagged her and she like reposted it, being like, ha ha ha. We both got into trouble. And like we had different bosses, and like my boss was like, hey, so like, you know, just kind of be careful. Like, you probably don't want to be posting stuff like that. Like, look, I get it, but like the other people in charge are like, they don't want to be seeing that stuff, right? Like, just kind of be careful. No worries. And she got like this crazy talking to, and she was like a black woman, and it was like, so like, how, like, this is a family, you're betraying us. And all she did was repost my thing. Like, and it was like, everybody's seeing this. It looks so bad for us, da 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 da. And like, I never got talked to from them. Nobody ever talked to me. And it was like such a clear, like, racial, like distinction in how we were treated. And it was so like, I mean, whatever. It's strange to be the recipient of like this benefit of the doubt where you're like, wait, sorry, like, I
was
actually did
doing-
fuck up. Like, I was like,
totally.
yeah, like that's a bad thing to do as an employee. Like, I
So
should.
by the way, now I'm like, what company isn't doing like literally like TikToks in the middle of their office?
Right,
being
exactly,
like-
right. It was so like the language they used was so like
Yeah.
personal with her. It was very like, this is gross. I gotta go.
I circle back to like it is the manager's responsibility.
Right.
But I also come with you. I'm like the workplace can be. I'm kind of like, if you can goof off a little bit, that's fine. But maybe that's bad. But I don't know. I feel like sometimes you have to. Okay, I'm gonna go this way.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to manage up. And sometimes by managing up, you have to be a little goofy so people can stop taking their job so seriously.
I agree.
I worked at a company and everyone was working really hard. And so was I. But I was not working till 3 a.m. every single night. I don't know. Like, you closing up early, it's like no one's coming into the shop. You know?
Right,
It's like,
right.
let's sort of teach a lesson. So I think I'm leaning good.
I am also going to say good
Thanks.
because you're welcome. Because right from the beginning, Oprah Winfrey,
Yeah.
she said something
Yeah.
that I can't remember exactly.
When people show you
Yeah,
who
that's
they
it.
are.
Yeah.
Totally.
And you did. You like when
Yeah.
they were like, "Hey, get us napkins." You were like,
No, for
no,
sure.
I'm over here."
That's
Right,
true.
right, right.
And so you were just being honest about who you were
Mm-hmm.
and not wanting to be there. It's like, well, you brought this on yourself,
Well,
you guys.
I completely agree with you.
Right.
So you were just being you,
Thank
Right.
you.
and I'm saying good behavior.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
welcome.
you did really take account, like when you were in a place where it was like, you know, oh, my like being kind of negligent is like putting people, like other
Yep.
workers out.
Yeah.
You were like, all right, this isn't the right fit for me.
Yeah, you did say that.
True. I
I
did
heard
say
it
that.
too.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, unfortunately, there's another person in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's you, Charlie.
Right.
Whoa. And what a-
Charlie didn't do anything wrong.
Well, Charlie was kind of coming by your shop,
Mhm.
maybe distracting you just a little bit.
Yeah,
And
for
for
sure.
free goods.
Mhm.
If we just heard another story about Charlie
Yeah.
getting off scot-free,
Mhm. It's true.
Oh.
and in 2 stories,
Mhm.
He's going to get the bad.
Right. I'm feeling like I'm gonna get
I can
that.
tell, yeah. I want
To play
it.
devil's advocate, when you were asked to go outside, you're like, no, you should have been like, no, this is my friend. And
Oh.
like,
I was like, anything you.
Yeah.
Your boss is like, can you step outside? I'm like, no. Anything you have to say to her, you can say to me too.
Exactly.
I will say in the other story about my job, my office job, when like I was like not really reprimanded, I do wish I'd like spoken up. I know
the
I'm-
amazing thing with being punished, we can get rid of all of your guilt.
Okay.
So we
Wow.
have a reward for
Mhm.
you and a punishment.
Okay.
So, we believe that one of the best gifts you can get in life is a compliment from your therapist. Even though I don't have a medical degree,
Yeah.
for me as your therapist.
Oh, okay.
Today, you made me believe in God, because before me stands the living embodiment of an angel. Now soar, my friend. Soar. How do you feel?
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
The
Thank you.
lyricism, yeah.
Are you crying?
I'm crying, yeah.
It seems like you're crying.
No, thank you. I really need to.
You're welcome.
Okay, Charlie, we have a punishment.
Okay.
Our punishment today
Mm-hmm.
is going to be having you read an iconic celebrity apology.
Okay.
Today we have Colleen Ballinger.
Whoa.
God.
I
sure.
know.
All
A
right.
recent one.
Okay. Sometimes people make a mistake and it doesn't make them a horrible person. Sometimes people can make a mistake and they're still a good person. Crazy, I know. Sometimes people can make a mistake and you don't have to take that mistake and twist it up and grind it and add some lies to it and pulverize it and stab it with knives and ruin a life.
Gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Wow. Snap.
Well said.
Yeah, well said. Before we wrap up today, do you guys have anything you might want to plug? Tell listeners where they can follow, find you, all that jazz.
Our Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
Our podcast, Exploration Live.
Right.
Check it out.
I think on Instagram and TikTok it's Exploration Live Comedy or something. Who knows?
Literally.
No, I don't know. We do live shows basically all the time. We have a show at the Bell House August 12th. Come to
Right.
All right, amazing.
Thanks for saying I'm good.
You're welcome. Now soar.
that. And thanks for holding me
Soar.
accountable.
Yeah, of course. Anytime. And that's our show. Thanks so much for listening today.
We absolutely hate to do this. We hate it.
But it would mean the world to us if you can subscribe to the podcast wherever you get podcasts, rate and review.
Follow us at Bad Behavior NYC on Instagram and TikTok. Thanks again for listening.
And remember, whatever your moral status, we are always here to judge.
Bye.
Do you think that was good?
Don't forget that your skin is your largest organ, and the sun can be your skin's worst enemy. Dermatologist recommended Neutrogena products offer the ultimate protection for your skin. From makeup remover wipes to Hydro Boost Water Gel Facial Moisturizer, BJ's has your entire lineup of Neutrogena skincare products. And now through December 3rd, save $4 on any Neutrogena product at BJ's. Love your skin back and save now through December 3rd, only at BJ's.